You are looking live at the auditorium in Alexandra Technopark, home to Nokia mobile phones in Asia. Greetings to everyone across the APAC region. This is the Nokia Way Network, and I'm Frank Wilson. We're pleased to be bringing you the annual Nokia Way meeting, which I believe will be starting in just a couple of minutes. As you know, this year's meeting is a little different as we are bringing it to you via satellite. The recent situation with SARS demanded a new approach, so here we are. I hope the transmission is good and that you can hear and see us perfectly well. If you have any problems, please be sure to call country code 65-9839-2987, and we will do our best to fix the problem. It looks like the lights are beginning to dim, meaning that the start of the meeting. So I hope you enjoy our broadcast today, brought to you live and exclusively on NWN. Let's go to the meeting now. And a huge project that was undertaken to boost our presence in the provinces. This will give you some insight about some of the challenges that we face in that big country that we call China. Let's have a look. My special thanks to everybody in the Beijing office, and especially Barbara for helping to make that video as good as it was. That was actually a rather unusual situation because I was unable to go to Beijing and actually conducted those interviews over the phone. I also might point out, too, that I think that the performances that Sharuk and Colin gave at the beginning of that video were just brilliant. And I, for one, will be putting their names in for nominations for next year's Academy Awards. So my thanks to both of them for their brilliant performances in that. Before we go to the meeting, I understand that we have a special announcement that needs to be made. So we need to go to Robert Anderson and see what this is all about. Robert? Thanks, Colin. China remains key to the success of NMP here in APAC, and I'm sure you can see that every effort is being made to make us number one in China. And by the way, please remember to have your questions ready for our talk show, which will be probably in about 20 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and give you the number now, but I'm not wanting you to call right now, as this is just for you to write it down. The country code is 65, obviously, and the number is 6723-2454. I believe this number is being shown on your screen as well. Don't call it yet, but we will have an operator ready to take your call when the show starts. We have 4 lines available for you. We have 4 lines available, and so some of you may be on hold for a little bit, but just kind of bear with us, and we will get to as many questions as we possibly can when the show starts. So hopefully take note of that phone number, and we'll look forward to hearing from you. Now on to other parts of the region, notably Southeast Asia Pacific, where there are many opportunities for both volume and value growth. I believe Tyler will talk about all of SEAP, but with a particular focus on India. Now, before we go to Tyler's presentation, I went to India recently to see what was happening there and found some interesting activities going on. Let's go to that story now. Whew! The weather in Mumbai is hot, but fortunately, so are the sales of Nokia's imaging phones here in India. I came here to find out why. It's all about partnering. The Indian market presents many challenges, as country manager Sanjeev Sharma explains.
Here we were in a market that was not quite as mature.
I think I'm still cooling off from that trip. It was a hot day, but very nice people. I can't begin to tell you how cooperative and how nice the folks at Kodak were, and how cooperative and open they were for that particular story. So my thanks to all of them, and obviously the India team as well, who contributed a great deal to that story. Hope you guys liked the video very much. It really is a classic example, isn't it, of 1 + 1 = 3. Great synergy there. So let's hope that we can find more partners like that and create more synergistic partnerships in the future. So with that, I believe that we're about ready to go into Tyler's presentation, who is not only going to tell us about India, obviously, but about the rest of Southeast Asia Pacific. Welcome back again. This is live TV, so we're frantically trying to get everything in place for our talk show. that I'd mentioned to you that we were going to have today. I believe hopefully the number is being shown on your screen. If it's not, it's country code 65, and the number is 6723-2454. And by the way, that's not that we're not going to allow people here in the audience to ask questions as well. You'll notice there are microphones set up here, so we'll certainly encourage all of you to ask questions. But we did want to give some of the people out in the region an opportunity to do that as well. So the 4 lines are open, and again, our apologies if you have to stay on the line for a little bit and hold, but bear with us. We'll try to get to all of you as quickly as we can. Let's see, our panel of experts have joined us right now. Posse, thank you. Robert? And our first call, how exciting. Robert and Tyler and Nigel, and Conti is also joining us as well, who is going to have a couple of things that I think we'll talk about. In fact, while we're waiting for the first call, why don't you, there was something about CDMA you were going to mention that you wanted to have our presenters talk about.
Yeah,
I also did want to take note of thanking all the wonderful people that have helped make this possible. That would be the people of the event company and Raymond and his crew and Bates Advertising. There have been a lot of people that have helped put this together. In particular, I'd really like to thank Katrina Musatalo. Thank you, Katrina, for all your tremendous help and support. And a really big special thank you that will never be sufficient enough to Christy Thu for putting up with me for the last couple of weeks as we went down to the wire on this. It's been a tremendous help. Thank you. With that, I believe that it's about time probably to pass it over to Robert for his closing comments, and then I think we'll have one more short little presentation after that. So, Robert, over to you.
Okay.